Alright, hello, hello, hello. Back again for one more series tonight. Why not? Um, this says this is live, but it's not showing anything. Okay, there we go. Now it's not showing anything, but it updated to the nothing I wanted to show. Alright, and for this last series, we have CR versus PMM. And I'm not gonna wait too long on the starting soon because it is 1 a.m. So let's get going. This uses Drafter, by the way. My overlay is a little messed up for this, so we're going to be a little scuffed. You can still see the 5 champions. You can still see the order. You can't see the last 2 bans from both teams, but the Drafter is in the Discord if you are interested in it. CR opens up with Ziggs. Great blind pick, good flex pick. You know, could go bot, could go mid. Just depends on where you want it. Lulu Kaisa from PMM, securing their bot lane. Kaisa, you normally pair up with something with a little bit more CC, but an enchanter with the Kaisa, as long as you have your CC in other places, is still a good thing. Got that followed up by Volibear Nautilus saying, hey, we'll pick our jungler here, we'll pick our matching support. Nautilus into Lulu really will depend on how well they are able to dodge the hooks here. Jarvan picked up for Team PMM. Good CC there for the Kaisa. Helps activate Kaisa passive in the team fights later on in the game. Sante, great blind pick. Very little losing matchups. Mbessa, probably in the top lane. So then that's a Malphite blind pick for the mid lane. I guess they're going for big AP burst Malphite. Just big damage. See what happens. Or that's Mbessa mid. Not entirely sure. We'll see when we load in. Lysandra for the answer. Bromstein just put on a performance on the last stream on Lysandra, so we'll see if PMM's mid laner is also able to do that. As soon as the game loads, I'll bring y'all in game. Looks like that is Mbessa top, Malphite mid. Just big burst damage, Malphite mid, I'm assuming. Starts with the Doran's Ring. And has Comet. So while it could be tanky, my guess is it's going to be a lot more burst heavy here. Some pinging of some enemy champs. Not sure what we're pinging about, but they are there. Malphite or Mbessa pinging friendly Malphite R. Not learned yet. You know, I've never tried that. Maybe Malphite should try starting the game with R instead of QW or E. Feel like that would be a more useful ability for Malphite. If Udyr can do it, why not Malphite? Little trading, going back and forth in the bot lane. Lysandra should be able to bully the Malphite out pretty early on. Does outrange Malphite. Oh, hook lands onto the Lulu. Not able to follow up too much there. I think Nautilus got the bad end of that trade, but you know they're the ones that landed the hook, so they hit level 2 here. Decides not to look for anything. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we have 2 champions that are going to be dashing a lot, and I might lose track of it in team fights, so we'll see what happens. Ziggs showing off his superb wave clear. There was a wave there. I'm not sure if y'all noticed, but most of it's gone now. Top lane, we have Cassante taking the extended trade onto the Mbessa. They're both Doran Shield abusing, but Cassante is also jungler abusing here, and Ched is up there. We'll see if Ched's able to kill Caress. Nope, Ched is going to go down to Caress, fails the EQ, does not actually die, does flash away from what I'm assuming was one last skill shot there. Very close though. Forced to flash out. Caress flash for Ched flash. There's no Sunfires yet, but this game is going to be fire. Meanwhile, after Cassante tried jungle abusing, Mbessa might try to jungle abuse here now. Volibear is on the Krugs. Jarvan's looking for the Krugs. Jarvan's opening topside again. Volibear able to get the big Krug. All the little ones going down Jarvan's way. But with that, Caress is pretty safe to finish pushing in the wave here. No dive happening. Hook lands onto the Lulu. Great little bomb by Ziggs to follow up on that hook pressure. Just a little bit extra poke. And here comes Ziggs wave clear. Oh, Ziggs W. Sending everyone away. Looking at the crab's already gone. Oh, Lulu gets a little too close to the bush there. Nautilus hook into Volibear. Tries to flash away, but their Ziggs bomb slowing her on the way out. Down Lulu goes. EQ from Ched lands onto the Volibear. Does get exhausted a little bit late. Volibear does go down, but they are able to kill the Jarvan in return. Meanwhile, Kaisa forced to flash and cleanse away. Summoner advantage is really going in the favor of CR. Both of their bot laners still have flash. Neither of PMM's bot laners have flash, so could be looking to make a play happen down there, especially with the dragon being up. Malphite able to survive the first 6 levels of the game. Does have a null magic mantle. Potentially going for a beefier build then. Lysandra and Malphite, both level 6. Both have good jungle setup for a gank. We'll see who's able to rotate over faster. Looks like Team PMM is hard committing onto the drag. Drag will probably go down before Team CR gets there. It does. They're able to chase off the Nautilus. Meanwhile, Volibear saying, well, you got the drag. I'm going for your Raptors. The only thing that tastes better than friendly Raptors are enemy Raptors. Something about stealing that camp is always so satisfying. Top lane, Cassante holding the freeze. There's a volley bear right behind him. Nautilus hook goes just a little bit wide. Lulu does not realize how close she came to dying, but, you know, Lulu is alive. Really, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, so. Jarvan cleared the bottom side of his camps, but while he was doing that, Volibear was clearing the top side of his camps. Ate them all up. Lissandra getting a good trade here onto the Malphite. Malphite does have no magic mantle, so it's not a massive trade, but it is still a good trade. Nautilus barely missing the hook again. Lulu just, you know, with the Yordle body, really hard to hit with the hook there. Yordle body and playing it really close to the wall. Both of those hooks missed in the exact same spot. We'll see if he adjusts it for hook number 3. Oh, we'll see if directed cam shows us. Crest looking to get a trade onto Cassante here. Gets W'd by Cassante, unempowered form. There's Cassante empowered Q. Cassante is going all out. Does get publicly executed by Mbessa, but that's not enough to actually kill the Cassante. Cassante flashes forward trying to finish off Mbessa. Does get the kill on Mbessa, who had originally flashed away but came back in trying to get the kill back on Cassante. Hernandez teaches, able to kill the Cassante, and before Jarvan gets him, Malphite comes in rock solid and lands the unstoppable force. Meowscarade does get in, does ult the Volibear, gets the kill. And now both the mid laners are laning up top. Double buffs to Lissandra. And Malphite there with very little mana just trying to collect the wave. Mbessa does TP to a ward. Not sure if... it doesn't look like Lissandra sees it. Cassante's coming top, but I think Mbessa gets there first. And here's Mbessa. Lissandra flashes forward. Malphite flashes as well. Mbessa able to take down the Lissandra, get the double flash for themselves, and continue to fight. Looking onto the Cassante here. Cassante, though, hitting him with a lot of good damage, a lot of good Q auto attacks. A lot of Cassante's trading pattern damage comes from the empowered auto after the Q. Gets a good amount of those. Lands the Q3. Barely misses the W. Cress gets a good trade in return for Cassante, missing the W. Wave does crash. And now Mbessa's red buff sustain is looking like it might make a difference there. Both get the Pixel Ward. Mbessa gets 2 little Q trades onto the Cassante. Oh, hook lands right into Lissandra from Nautilus. Not sure where that hook came from, but I saw where it landed. Hook into Volibear Q, into Zig's ult. Even with Lissandra ulting herself, not able to survive. Meanwhile, on the top side, Cassante versus Mbessa. Cassante shows Mbessa what it really means to be a 2026 champion. I think Cassante's even earlier than that, but Mbessa went down first to the all-out Cassante. Curious, are they both 2025 champs? I don't know, and I'm not looking it up right now, so. Hook hits the wall instead of any of the champions there. Lissandra TP's in. Dragon is up. Everyone's looking to fight for it. Oh, Jarvan looking to engage onto the Ziggs, who flashes out. Is able to W out of Jarvan cage, but had already taken a lot of damage. Jarvan able to kill him on the second EQ here. But now Jarvan stuck in the back line, nowhere to go, gets exhausted. Kaisa able to ult away. Jarvan goes down to Volley Bear. That is a big, scary bear. Volley Bear there. Looks like Ziggs is TPing back to get back in on the action. He said, you killed me once, but I'm back. I'm ready to fight more. My HP bar, full health. Ready to go. Sante going forward. Does not hit anyone with his W, but Nautilus is a little split from the rest of the team. Nautilus goes down to Lissandra. Meanwhile, on the top side, Bessa still farming, proxying, getting plenty of plates here. And Dragon number 2 goes over to Team PMM. Oh. Malphite takes turret aggro, gets Lissandra ulted underneath the turret. Takes a couple extra turret shots. Does get away though. Nautilus is there to save the Malphite's life. Says, hey, you can't keep chasing him. I'm here. Volley Bear was there too. If Lissandra stepped up too far, could have been trouble. So Lissandra just smartly decides to back off. Looks like a little bit of a warding. Trip by Nautilus does not go poorly. He's able to get some deep vision down and get out with his life. Meanwhile, in the top side, while Sante was gone in that fight, Mbessa able to get a 20 CS lead. Do a little gold check here. 300 killed lead for Mbessa, or gold lead for Mbessa. Oh, Mbessa looking to trade onto Casante, dodges the W. Volley Bear's here, Jarvan's here. Who will engage first? Mbessa trying to look juicy, trying to look like someone you should engage on, but Team PMM able to smell something. They're able to see Hernandez teaches now. Not able to stop his recall. He gets away. Lissandra tries to get back to mid lane. Gets hooked by Nautilus in the bush. Jarvan EQ goes a little bit wide. Misses the Nautilus. Misses the Malphite. Malphite has ult. Has not committed it yet. Ooh, I think I'm gonna get a little bit of water between games here. Splash some on my face, wake myself up a little bit. Malphite hitting his Q on Lissandra. Very important skill shot to hit on Malphite. Top side of the map, we got Casante engaging onto Mbessa. Does hit Mbessa with a really good combo. Looks like Volibear, pretty close to finishing Flicker Blades. Mbessa uses the Empowered Shield from Teleport to get a very free trade in on the Cassante. Ziggs doing what Ziggs does best, kills the turret. Does get TP'd on behind, not sure if he sees it. He sees it, he gets away from Lysandra, is forced to flash forward. Does a lot of damage to Kaisa. Nautilus gets the kill. Looks like he's throwing out just a couple more bombs here, trying to get another kill. They're able to kill the Lulu. Public execution comes out, and Mbessa kills Cassante this time. Chad engaging onto the Malphite. Malphite forced to ult out of the Jarvan 4 cage. Hernandez teaches just 1v2ing in the enemy's jungle, showing them why Volibear is not someone you want to be in the melee range of. Meanwhile, Kaisa comes up, is able to finish off the Volibear before Volibear W's another champion here. And they are setting up for Dragon number 3. No Hernandez teaches currently, but also no Ched currently. Mbessa is down here for this dragon. If Malphite shows up, he doesn't have ult, so he's not the most useful champion, but he is a frontliner. Looks like a little bit of supportal combat here. One hook. A couple of pixies coming Nautilus's way. And then everyone walks away. Start up blue buff, but Nautilus, Malphite, and Mbessa are in the area. They do back off. Blue buff is going to go to the side of Team PMM. A little bit of a ward action in the tri-bush. They don't actually want to face check the Mbessa. PMM engages onto Ched. Drops the ult onto Lysandra from Nautilus. Malphite ult almost off cooldown. They might be looking to play this fight with a Malphite ult here. A lot of poke coming out from Ziggs. Crest on Mbessa hitting a little bit of a combo. Nautilus hook hits the wall. Not quite able to get anyone, but he does get on their back line. Big Malphite ult onto Lulu and Kaisa. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Cassante goes all out, kills the Ziggs. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but Lysandra went down as well. Hernandez teacher says, you might be all out, but I'm a big bear. I'm hungry. Eats the Cassante. See some pings coming out towards Baron side, looking to set up vision. Rogue Otters is setting up some deep wards. Very dangerous positions, but he gets the wards and he gets out of there. A lot of posturing here before the Baron. Looking to see if someone oversteps, if someone overplays their hand. Doesn't look like it though. Cassante able to establish a push up in top lane. Malphite there to answer said push. Meanwhile in the bot lane, Mbessa's almost at the tier 2 turret, but does spot the enemies coming Mbessa's way and able to get out of there while four chase Mbessa. That gives Ziggs plenty of time to free hit the mid turret and drop a W. Down goes the turret, down goes Ziggs. Casante catches out the Ziggs on his rotation back to Baron. Takes them all out. Kaisa goes in. Unfortunately for them, Hernandez teaches is there, and he's big. He goes ahead and eats Kaisa, and then followed by that, they melt the Casante. Ziggs barely able to survive though. And now, Baron should go towards the side of CR. Hernandez teaches, goes for the fist bump. Does have a teammate that's willing to fist bump as well. I think that was Smep. Someone check Smep's fist bump numbers. Hernandez teaches, goes for another fist bump. Malphite solo ults to Lissandra. Hernandez teaches, does not get a fist bump back this time. Does flash onto Lissandra, who flashes away. Able to force the Lissandra flash and the Lissandra ult. A little bit of reset action coming out here. Not much to do on the map yet. Wait until CR is waiting until their team all gets around there and ready to push. Oh, looks like they're gonna go into this river bush, but there are a couple of members of PMM here, able to chase off Team CR. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Lissandra goes into a bush, but there's a Mbessa in the bush, tries to E away. Mbessa falls with public execution. Chet is there on the Jarvan to try to force Mbessa and keep her off of Lissandra. Lissandra still goes down to the Mbessa. Forces the flash from both Lulu and from Jarvan. Both Lulu and Jarvan still go down. They do get Hernandez teaches Volibear to go down with them. Along with that, Kaisa and Casante are able to kill the Mbessa under turret. Kaisa also able to kill the Nautilus, also able to kill the Ziggs. A lot of money going down Kaisa's way there. In the top lane, Smep gets tier 2. Look at him. Rock solid. Looking at the gold real quick, we have a 2k gold lead for Mbessa up in the top lane. We have a 4k gold lead roughly for Volibear in the jungle. We have about a 1.2k in the mid lanes here. In the bot lane though, Kaisa, after all of those kills, has a 1,000 gold lead on the Ziggs. And Nautilus has about a 1,000 gold lead on Lulu as well. But PMM does also have Dragon lead. They have 2 of them. They're fighting for the 3rd one. Hernandez teaches able to get in there and steal the 3rd one. Will it cost him his life? No, it will not. Hernandez teaches able to get out. Doesn't blow flash, doesn't blow ultimate. Not sure how he did it. Call him Houdini, but he's out of there. Casante looking to fight. It appears as though Casante is attempting to star walk. Does kidnap the Ziggs. Meanwhile, Jarvan tried getting onto the backside of the other side of the fight and not quite able to. Mbessa Volibear. I'm not sure exactly what happened on that side of the fight. I'm sure there was a big Malphite ult. I'm kind of interested. Yep, we have the hook engage. We have the poly. We have the Jarvan ult followed by the Mbessa ult. There it is. 3-man Malphite ult right on top of the Lulu, Kaisa, and Lissandra. Really turns that fight for Team CR. Looks like mid lane turret in, mid lane inhib going the way of CR. Are they going to go for more? It's just Jarvan and Lulu spawning here. Quick, the rest of them have another 10 seconds. They get one tower. They're going for two. They get the second turret. Exhaust the Jarvan. Jarvan goes down immediately. Lulu able to take down the Ziggs. That's a lot of their pushing power. A lot of their structure damage goes down. Cassante engages onto the Volibear. Trying to get on the Malphite, not quite able to. And Bessa overplays her hand and gets a little too close to Kai'Sa and Lissandra. Kai'Sa getting a couple more kills, another shutdown. Really getting another influx of gold coming in. I like their attempt at ending, but as soon as the Ziggs died, that became a mess. They didn't have the structure damage to really force the end there when he's dead. Lulu really making a clutch play there. And then Lissandra and Kai'Sa able to play the rest of that fight very well. This Kai'Sa is rich. Kai'Sa has 14k gold. The Volibear, who has 16 kills, has 14k gold. Kai'Sa has more money than the Volibear, who has 16 kills. Kai'Sa is the richest person in this game. They might be losing in gold, but their 80 carry is incredibly strong. We'll see if they're able to leverage that and turn this game. Looks like Mbessa got a little too close to the turret. Did not realize it was a trap. Meanwhile, while they all collapse on Mbessa, they think that Team CR thinks they can melt Baron before Team PMM gets there. And right now, it's looking to be true. 2k down, 1k down. Baron goes the way of CR. Is PMM going to be able to force on them? Looks like they're able to force on Rogue Otters at least. Rogue Otters flashes away, hits the Giga Blast Cone, and gets out safely. Cassante, though, not letting up. Does look to try to get the Malphite. Malphite, however, very tanky character, able to get away. Volibear going for his wolves. Able to secure them. I'm curious how they can try to make, how Team PMM can try to make a fight happen around Kai'Sa. Because they still have a chance of winning those fights if they're around Kai'Sa. We got Drag spawning here in 20 seconds. Another Chemtech Drag. 3 for whichever team gets it. No souls on the table yet. Ooh, Lissandra getting a little too close. Able to self-peel, is forced to flash away though. Chad also forced to flash away. Taken very low. Hook lands right onto Lulu. And Team CR decides, hey, we got enough. Let's go secure our dragon. Looks like they're using their Baron minions, trying to set up a siege here in the bot lane. I do like when teams siege on one lane instead of necessarily the middle, just because there's less areas to get flanked on the side lanes. Rogue Otter steps up a little too far. They're able to catch him. Meanwhile, Lissandra able to kill Mr. Player 2, and wow, that is a clean wipe. Oh, I guess not quite a wipe. Ambessa's in the top lane, but that's a clean 4 for 0 for Team PMM. Team PMM might be down 5k gold, but they are not out of this game yet. Did Ambessa overstay her welcome? EQ from Ched doesn't connect. Gets sped up by Lulu. Second EQ does connect. Hugify knocks up the Ambessa. Lissandra ult makes the Ambessa not able to move, and down goes Ambessa. With them using both the Lissandra and the Lulu ult, I'm curious if another fight breaks out too soon. What's going to happen? Looks like the fight over the scuttle went successfully to the side of PMM. Now Team CR looking to get wards down, but Rogue Otter went a little too far forward trying to get said wards. Dies to the 4 on Team PMM. Then Volley Bear's the next to fall. Their death timers are not in sync. They got caught out for entering the enemy side jungle while the enemies are stacked as a 4 unit right now. Sante going all out. All out is not enough when you're fighting Ambessa. You have to go even further beyond. Grow out some long hair. Turn it blonde. Maybe lose the eyebrows. Mid lane turret goes down to Lissandra. Ambessa. Looks like Ambessa is over pushing again. Caught out on the side lane. Tries to get out. Buffers the ult into the Lissandra ult. Does not matter. Goes down. It does get the Lulu flash. And his teammates are all already on Baron. Will they be able to get this one without it being contested as well? Hernandez gets the Baron smite. Looks like a lot of fighting here in the pit. Ched trying to get onto the back line for Team CR. Okay, I must have blinked really long. I don't know. I need to splash some water on my face between games here. But in the meantime, looks like Red Side is going to get their 3rd drag. We're going to the 7th drag. Face me and fight. Alright, a little bit of setup here. No big objectives coming up. We got 4 minutes on both of those. Smep finding Masquerade in their jungle. Jarvan, EQ's out of his jungle. Looks like we got a 4-1 going. No Baron minions. Hernandez teaches, hits a ward. Ched EQ's over, but it's a little too far forward. Hernandez teaches able to comfortably get out. Caress TPs towards the mid lane. Is here with the empowered shield. We'll see if that goes anywhere. Ched with the EQ flash to land onto the back line of Team CR. Meanwhile, Ziggs gets Lissandra ulted and forced to stand still and die while he's getting dove. Volibear killed his first health bot. I think he has the mark on the second one, but the second one is going all out and says, I'm not going to die to you, you're going to die to me. Meanwhile, on the other side of the fight, Lissandra able to kill the Malphite and the Volibear, I'm assuming. At least the Malphite. Able to force them off. They're able to push out Team CR from their base and send them back home. Alright, looks like some clearing of the jungle. Everyone in their own respective junglers this time. No one over pushing. Kills are even. Gold is back to even. It is only a 500 gold lead. Top laners, looks like Mbessa is up 2k still. Volibear's still up 5k. Lissandra's up 2k, and wow! Oh, Lissandra ult onto the Mbessa, who's trying to dash away but gets trapped into the cage by Jarvan. Does almost kill Lissandra, but Hugify saves Lissandra. Here comes Malphite, big 3-man Malphite ultimate. Kai'Sa goes down. Hernandez Teach is able to get the last hit on Kai'Sa. Looks like Ziggs is still fighting. Ziggs is still alive. If they're able to kill the Cassante here, this could very well be game. Hernandez teaches now on the Cassante. Same with the rest of the 4 players alive for Team CR. Down Cassante goes. We've got 30 seconds left before everyone spawns. We have a Ziggs. We're going for end. Ziggs does get Proto Belt ulted by the Lissandra, but now what does Lissandra do? Oh. Jukes the Volibear. They're able to force the turret. They kill the Lissandra here. Still 2 seconds on the enemy carry. Oh, Kaisa's here. Kaisa's able to clean them all up right before the Nexus goes down. All three inhibitors lost. Dragon spawn, Baron spawn, but their Nexus still alive. Lissandra teleporting into the base, trying to kill the Nexus before it goes down. Not quite able to do it. Kaisa's sitting right there. Takes down the Mbessa. Meanwhile, Jarvan is on the Elder Drag. No, my bad, not Elder Drag. On the last Chemtech Drag. No matter who gets it, someone's getting the soul here. Looks like Jarvan was able to secure it with the 1400 gold smite. Or, not gold. With the 1400 smite. Now, can they play tower defense? They have soul. They don't have Baron. Team CR looking to get Baron to close out the game. Decides against starting it off cooldown. Setting up a little bit more vision. Probably waiting for Mbessa as well. Baron has been started. One of the inhibs is back for Team PMM, so there won't be too many more double super waves coming in. Looks like Team CR is staying close to the Baron. Hook lands right on Lissandra. Public execution lands right on Lissandra. Lissandra does ult herself. Lissandra goes down to Volibear. Big Malphite ult in the backline in the meantime. Is it big enough though? It doesn't look like it. Holy, Kai'Sa's just space gliding. Kai'Sa does a lot of damage there. And wow. Gonna go back there really quick. Blue is able to end the game just with this last set of double supers coming in. They met up with the waves behind them. You have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 super minions coming into your base with your Nexus completely exposed. And that is enough to end the game before red side is able to clear them out. Talk about a game of attrition there. Blue side able to pull it out, but things were getting very dicey. Red side had just taken a gold lead. Want to see the graph for this one. Oh, things got a little spoiled. Oh, you know what? Things keep getting a little spoiled. At this point, it's already spoiled. Look at that Kai'Sa damage, 70,000, really pumping at the end there. That is exactly what we saw throughout the game. Massive 10k gold lead here. 26 minutes into the game, and at the end of it, red side had a gold lead, but blue side able to apply enough pressure that eventually red side just cracked. CR getting game 1. Alright, I'm going to go splash some water on my face really quick before we start game 2 up here. I will leave you with the draft for game 2 though. I will be right back to splash some water on my face. Alright, looks like sides stayed the same here for game two. I was just confirming that. Sides stay the same. CR opened with MF. Mel, Nami. I forget what they changed with Mel W. I don't know how that new W interacts with the Misfortune alt, but Mel is a solid blind pick, potential flex pick. They do later on pick Illusion, so ends up going mid. But very solid, just blind pick, potential flex into the Misfortune. They went Mel Nami. Nami is one of the enchanters that is surprisingly good with casters due to the E bonus, also proccing on spell on abilities. Um, Nami got answered by Braum. Pretty good into Nami. Nami has a lot of decent ways to actually force fights between Bubble and between Wave. Braum Shield, good at blocking all those. Braum Alt can help set up Misfortune very well. Victor answer into the Mel. I'm assuming that they thought Mel was either mid lane or honestly Victor's a pretty good blind pick as well. But here the team PMM does lock in Lucian, solidifying where their lanes are going to go so far. Lucian Nami, very classic combo. Very, very strong if piloted well. Then we have an Amumu, followed by Sion Sejuani, and answered by Aatrox. Amumu, very good AoE, clear, very good AoE spells for these team fights. He has a weak early game, but if he's able to survive the early game, survive getting potentially invaded, he becomes a team fighting monster. Sion, very safe blind pick. Sejuani, very good for their team comp. The one thing that I would worry about is consistent AD damage. They have some AD damage with Sion coming in from the top lane in the early game, and some good burst with Misfortune. She is an AD carry. She does have some decent consistent AD damage. But if she ever falls behind, it'll be very hard for CR to do physical damage against PMM. Aatrox, great lane answer for Sion, able to scale up pretty well into the game against him in the side lane. They do have hard engage with Amumu, so Aatrox is a kind of secondary disruptor, secondary engage. Very powerful champion for that. And with that, we will switch on over to the game. Booting it up. I see the Lumberjack skin, and me personally, I like playing that when I'm playing against either an Ivern or Maokai. Get a little tree cutting bonus. That being said, Aatrox is not a tree, so we'll see if the Lumberjack is able to take on the Aatrox. The one thing about Sion is he does scale up in the mid game to be a very hard to kill tank, even if your name's Aatrox. As long as you don't fall behind to the Aatrox early, you're going to be a Sion. Looks like we have a Mumu starting blue buff. Going to be clearing towards top side. Going to be trying to play around Aatrox, help them get a lead early, I'm assuming. Meanwhile, we have Sejuani clearing down towards bot side. I'm sure Hernandez Teaches has already dropped about 3 or 4 fist bumps by now. Hopefully his teammates answered at least one of them. But clearing down towards bot side to help relieve pressure from the Lucian Nami lane. If those two are pushing, it could lead into a good gank angle, potentially for Sejuani. Directed Cam really likes bot lane, apparently. Just gonna zoom out. I guess looking at the health bars outside of jungle, that is the only place bot lane is the only place that a spell's landed. Now we're going top. Got a Q1 in there. That was a very interesting Misfortune Q angle, but hey, it landed. Lucian trying to engage onto Misfortune here. Both sides level 2. Braum shield able to block most of the incoming damage. Braum passive forces the Lucian to walk away. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, we have Aatrox trying to do a backflip dunk onto the Scion, but Scion able to walk away. And in the mid lane, Mel is very low on mana at this point. And Victor has plenty to spare, so looking at how even the health bars are, Victor is in a very good spot in the lane here. Guardian gets procced. Ooh, that Braum Q goes just wide. If that hit the stun, that might have been a perfect opportunity for Misfortune to follow up with a good chunk of damage. Q1. Boom, gets the dunk off onto the Scion. Scion does get the Q off, but a lot of Scion's health is missing on that trade. Okay, Victor with the fancy feet. Does flash. However, Amumu flashes after him, able to get the kill. Hernandez teaches sitting in the bot lane push. Does complete the recall here. Meanwhile, Braum gets hit by the Nami bubble. Has the shield though. Very safe. Back to farming. Great little Q poke by Misfortune there. Oh, Victor gravity field, not quite enough to get the stun onto the Mel. I just realized this mid lane matchup is straight out of Arcane. Yes sir, Nunya, late night beer league. We are on game 2 of CR versus PMM. Game 1 was a banger. Did not end how anyone would expect it to end. And that is the danger of playing Scion and getting Aatrox picked against you. That trade is very hard to play into as Scion. Aatrox playing it very well. Being patient enough with the Qs to land 2 or 3 of them in each of those rotations. Level 5 to level 5 down in the bot lane. Braum barely missing the Q. Sejuani is going for the early drag here. He's Amumu walking down. Neither of them have ultimate. It looks like they know Sejuani's there and they want Sejuani out. Looks like first drag goes to the side of PMM. Hits a great Q2. A lot of pinging coming out. I think Sejuani's up the top side. She is. Not exactly on the pixel like they're pinging, but pretty close. Sejuani trying to take Krugs. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, looks like Braum does go in for some warding, but takes a little bit more health off of his health bar than he expected, I believe. Aatrox getting a great W, forces a Scion Flash. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, they got the Braum passive stun into the Misfortune ult. They forced the Lucian flash away, and they forced the... Ooh, down goes Aatrox. I was going to say they forced the Nami to heal. Aatrox, meanwhile, takes turret aggro, goes a little bit too far under it, and goes down. Fully agree with that. Hernandez teaches, able to push Amumu off of one of the grubs. Amumu forces Sejuani away, uses the ult, hits air, but Sejuani was already hightailing it out of there. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, looks like an engage from Nami. Big shield from Braum, stopping the Nami wave. Exhaust onto the Lucian, slowing him, letting Braum get the stun off easily. Misfortune flashes forward, gets the kill on Lucian. And looks to crash the wave and get a reset. Alright, now we'll see if Aatrox is able to continue this these punishing trades without taking too many tower shots. Ooh, close to taking a tower shot. Back in the mid lane, Sejuani trying to get up on the Mel. Mel uses W, but Sejuani wasn't throwing a projectile, Sejuani was throwing herself. Chad cues a minion, forces the Victor flash. Both mid laners lost their flash at about the same time there. And now we're back to this under turret harassing that Aatrox is able to do. Aatrox taking another couple turret shots here. Really loves those. Looks like Dragon is going on the side of PMM. Misfortune here with the ult. Not quite able to steal it. Oh, big engage from the Nami. Braum shield goes down just in time. Mel follows up the great damage from Lucian with an ult to finish off those kills. Charge! Sion engages onto the Aatrox. Sejuani is here to help with the fight. They're able to... I can't tell either. They are able to take the Aatrox down before Aatrox is able to heal back up. Sorry if the beginning part of my yawns make it through. It is currently 2 a.m. here. And I have a mute button on the microphone that, you know, I try pressing pretty fast, but here we are. Great Q from Misfortune. Doesn't quite get the kill on the minion, but does land the bounce onto the Lucian. Alright, nice little harassing in the mid lane. Nothing too big happening. Did not realize you could reflect victory. But victory does get reflected. Mel flashes, doesn't flash forward. Amumu flashes. Mel, though, just able to get him range and hit an E on the Victor, forcing him to stand still for the Amumu flash Q. Down goes Victor. That shield is incredibly hard for Aatrox to deal with now. It's just such a large shield. Oh, engage coming down in the bot lane. Braum ult able to land onto the Nami. Beautiful setup for the Misfortune ult. Nami wave hits the other two, but Misfortune gets to sit there and channel the entire ult right on Nami's face. Down goes Nami. Meanwhile, on the top side, San able to push a wave. Doesn't quite get pulled back by Aatrox W. Able to walk it out. Boom, pulled back. Great trade from Aatrox there. Able to apply a lot of pressure to Sion under the turret. Aatrox does get a little too close and takes a fully charged Sion Q though. Not what you want to do. Took another turret shot. I think that must have been off Q1. Sejuani waiting in the bushes there. Able to get the surprise onto Nami as she went to ward. Down goes Nami. I also don't like Sunfire on Amumu. You have enough AoE in your abilities that, especially to kill jungle camps, you do not need it. Oh, Aatrox getting his ult off, but Scion ulting as well. Does Aatrox have enough sustain to fight the Scion through level advantage? No, it does not. Scion able to kill Aatrox. Sejuani waiting in the wings again. Braum in the wings as well. Braum. The enemy team does not realize that there's a Sejuani there to help the Braum. Nami wave lands onto Braum and Sejuani. However, Victor was able to kill the Mel as Mel was trying to run over. They're able to take down Ched as well, and Aatrox might have teleported to his death. Great, 3 for 0 to the side of CR. Nope, Aatrox trying to get on top of the Victor. Bubble goes on to Braum, who had the shield up. No shield now. Misfortune is they forced to flash away from the MF, or from the Nami ult. Able to turn onto the Amumu though. Mumu gets in range to ult cancel the MF ult and walk away. I guess flash away. Ooh, I feel like I've been quiet for a little bit too long. Alright, let me lock back in here. We got drag spawning in 45 seconds. Red side really setting that up well. A lot of good vision for, for Team Red side. I'm sure there's a button to do this, but a lot of good vision set up on Red side. It's starting to get cleared off, though. Meanwhile, Blue can really only see where they're at. That being said, they were able to clear all of PMM's wards, so... Oh! Scion ult comes in, barely misses, tries to set up the Q onto the Mel, but Mel is also able to dodge the Scion Q. Big Nami wave coming in. Huge Nami wave, huge AoE. Set up with great AoE follow-up from the Aatrox, the Amumu. That was, yeah, that tidal wave was huge. That won that fight. Victor trying to get a little bit of a laser onto the onto the dragon. Not realize that Aatrox was itching for a fight. Who went out there, and yeah, he got some help in the end, but he was looking good for killing the Victor. All right, 3 drags to Team PMM. Braum going on a little bit of a warning expedition, trying to set up some vision near the Baron. Oh, I should turn on full vision now. A little bit of back and forth here for wave control, both teams. Great little engage coming out onto Mel. Mel tries to counter with E. Unfortunately, Scion is unstoppable, and Sejuani is able to land. Down goes Mel from Team PMM. Shed able to get onto the back line of Misfortune, and Braum. Misfortune able to get out, redirect the ult, set up well, but Braum goes down to the Lucian. Scion, you hate to see it. Does fail the flash over the wall. Looks like the Sejuani found the Aatrox a little bit too far in the jungle there. Aatrox trying to get out. He is able to successfully get out here. Tier 1 bot turret going to the side of Mel and Team PMM. Quick money check. Team PMM does have a 2.5k gold lead. 1k on Aatrox. 1.5 roughly k on Mel. Everything else is looking pretty even across the board. Still anybody's game. I mean, what we saw last game, we know this is still anybody's game. Looks like Victor and Amumu able to chase off the Scion here. Aatrox potentially looking to clear one more wave. Does have teleport. Does not have that much money on hand, so it's not like Aatrox is going to need a respawn and a buy real quick. Oh, big MF ult. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna need to go back and rewatch that team fight. Okay, opens up with a little bit of a Q poke from Mel. A couple enemies trying to jump onto the Mel. They don't realize that's an Amumu that they're engaging on. Amumu flash ults onto two of them and cancels the Misfortune ult with his last, I guess not his last, but his second to last breath. And yeah, shut it down. Looks like still pretty even game. Blue side's gonna get this dragon. Stop PMM from getting their soul probably. That was close. Everyone over there in that situation was itching for a fight. Lucian ult able to melt the Victor. Oh, I think that was the bubble landing right on to the right onto the Braum. Very good team fight, very well played. Way to walk forward as a unit from Team PMM. Very hard to separate there. Alright, looks like Team CR is going to get the Baron here. Meanwhile, Aatrox for Team PMM is able to hard push, get the turret, get inhib. gonna get a drink a little bit of water there. Alright, time to see what Team PMM can do with their Baron push here. They do have a 6k gold lead. They have Baron. As long as they don't get engaged on while they're not ready, they're in a good spot to siege. Looks like they pushed through mid and they're collapsing onto the bot side fight. Nami ult hits just the Amumu. Misfortune ult gets cancelled by... Ooh, that's a big Amumu ult. Wow. Oh, able to get the root onto the Victor as well. Not quite able to kill with the Mel ult. Looks like that is 1 for 2 going the way of CR. Seems to be pretty hard to hit this Misfortune character with the skill shot. She gets pretty fast at this point in the game. Dragon, less than a minute. Soul for PMM. Not quite soul for Team CR though. Braum getting some deep vision, doesn't get caught out doing it. Okay, Scuttle Crab goes the way of PMM. They now know where all the vision is, and all the vision is low. Are they able to clear it in time? Who knows? Sejuani, not very scared of Nami by herself. Able to take the control ward right in the same bush that Nami was standing in. And Team PMM does start up the dragon. Glacial Prison coming on to the Nami. Nami wave coming right back onto Sejuani. Sejuani chased a little too far forward. Misfortune tries to press R, but runs away immediately with an Aatrox in her face. Chad able to secure the dragon, secure the soul for his team. That is a clean 4 for 0 fight for Team PMM plus soul. I'd imagine they're looking to end here. TP comes out mid. Chad doing his job of just bothering Victor so Victor can't back. Lucian deciding that's not enough. I want to be a part of this and I want to get the kill. Inhib respawned while that was happening. Braum's up. Sejuani's about to be up. Victor never got killed. Aatrox getting bot turret. Yep, getting bot turret. Not able to get bot inhib. And the game will go on. Yeah. A little bit of poke coming out. CR trying to get this Baron before it. Oh, CR is able to get the last hit on the Baron. Tread goes down. Moo does a Moo goes down. Nami's down. Alright, I'm gonna rewatch that fight. Ah, two people went forward right into fully charged Scion Q. Into Scion R. Good luck moving there. Aatrox is having trouble getting off of this Scion. But in the meantime, Mel was able to put a lot of damage out onto the carries for Team CR. Lucian goes down to Sejuani. Oh, is Aatrox going to win this? Nope. Laser comes out. Big shutdown goes to Victor. Alright, looks like Baron push being utilized by CR. They're aiming for this mid tier 2. Hernandez teaches on Sejuani, just throwing his body forward. Saying you can block, you can reflect skill shots, but what if I'm the skill shot? Oh, Tread might be in trouble here. Same with Aatrox. Alright, big fight. Big misfortunal coming off on the backside of it. They are able to get onto Misfortune though. Lucian able to kill him. Meanwhile, that Aatrox is doing a lot of damage at the front part of that fight. And here we go. Should be looking for end. 30 seconds left on the clock. Game 2 goes towards PMM. Forgot I have to click off of it. Alright. Real quick before we get into the next game. Before we get into the draft from the next game. A lot more back and forth here during the early game. Blue able to get a decent money lead here, coming up to what, just over 2K. But PMM on the red side were just able to keep pushing them down. They kept trying to get back up, and all of a sudden we'd have a really good, engage by Mumu. We'd have one incredible Nami wave. Wow, that Nami wave that game definitely was a game changer. But yeah, let's look at game 3 draft real quick. You have Zac, good blind pick jungler. A couple of hard counters. Poppy's very hard to play Zac into, but you know, not. Oh, let me update the score. Not a bad champion necessarily to blind pick if you're feeling confident on him. Oh, I forgot I gotta update the team names as well. CR. PMM. Yeah, that tidal wave. Um. Anyway, boom, boom, boom. Everything's updated. So we have Zac for PMM. Also, low key can go top lane as a flex. They do pick a Jax here, who I guess could also flex. So not entirely sure, but my guess is that's going to be Zac jungle. Nocturne answer. Varus is a very good blind pick. AD carry. Xayah and Janna, both very good as anti-dive characters. Very good into the Nocturne in particular. Singed, depending on who the enemy pick, Singed is a very strong. If you can survive laning phase, Singed scales to be a very strong late game team fight character. Then they pick Leona. Leona, it's going to be hard for Leona to engage into Janna Xayah. Knowing that they picked Leona, I'd like to, if lane isn't necessarily going great, not that it's going terrible, but just kind of an even game, I'd like to see Leona leave lane and roam around to the other maps, help them out a little, or other parts of the map, help them out a little bit. Jax, I think that's good into Singed. I don't know. Singed is very weird in terms of his matchups. It's good into Leona and it's good into Varus. And it's good into Nocturne on the side lane. Counter-Strike has a lot of value this game. Able to escape, or not escape, but able to help with a lot of different sources of damage coming in. Hui, very solid mage, very solid blind pick. They picked Asol into it. Hui does have a couple of good abilities to use when Asol roots himself. That being said, Asol does scale incredibly into the game, and we'll see how things play out. Booting it up. All right. Hernandez teaches, firing off a fist bump. Singed, responding with a fist bump of his own. Mix, mix, swirl. Mix, mix, swirl. Jax might smell the Singed. Started dancing. Oh, bot side. They dropped a ward. Ward did get cleared immediately. But they were able to get... I was going to say okay poke, but turns out not really. The CR bot lane has sustained that through natural regen already. They did establish the tempo, though. They said, hey, what's up? We're here to fight. Come here. Singe lines. Alright. Singe is probably good for another 30 years. Don't need to touch him. Look at that perfect champion gameplay. Flip. Turn on your poison. Walk around a little bit. Great engage by Leona. Way to buffer that E into the tornado so that the tornado didn't cancel it. Still not quite able to do enough damage to scare off Team PMM's bot lane, but they're getting there. Alright. Oh, we got a little bit of action here going on in the bot side. Team PMM's AD carry able to get a kill onto the Leona. Gonna be honest, I need to go back a little bit. Who started that fight? Oh, looks like Leona did try going in, but the Varus got exhausted. Not enough damage coming out from the side of CR. And boom. Down they go. Gonna make sure I brought my time controls back to 1.0. Yep. Nice little trade onto the Singed. If he does that at the wrong time, though, there's a Nocturne in the area. Looks like they do see or know that Nocturne's there at least. Alright, Jack's able to push in the Singed early game again. I think we'll be seeing a lot of that, seeing as how Singed is just a weird laning champion. Doesn't have very many matchups where he just wins through damage straight out. Not early game, at least. Asol posts up to Q. Play though, EE's him. Very easy setup. Zach jumps onto the Asol as well, but Asol still had his flight and got over the wall without blowing his flash. Jack's got in his free little trade, just backed off. Looks like we are going to be seeing a reset come in from Smep. Alright, a little bit of arrow poke right onto the Xayah. Flip. Oh. For a fight here in the bot lane. Varus is forced to blow his barrier, but overall comes out alive. Here comes the Zac to force that engage that they've been trying to set up for a little bit here. Leona able to get one, able to get two, able to get Able to get Zach's passive as well. Will Leona be able to kill Zach? Yes, sir. Alright, little trade by Jax here in the top lane. Can't extend it too much more due to little goop floor being applied. Oh, there's the ghost, able to get out of the able to get. Okay, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm getting water real quick. I mean, I have it here at my desk. I'm drinking some water real quick. Ooh, here comes the Nocturne ult right onto the Hui. Hui flashes. Not quite able to escape. But Zach is there for the follow-up. Hui able to get both of those kills. How did Hui get both of those kills? Do they know? Alright. Team CR definitely knows what's going on, and they are collapsing here on this dragon. Hernandez teaches, does win the smite fight. And in the top side of the map, Jack's able to get a solo bolo onto the Singed. Great ult by Hui, does force the A-Soul flash. Turns that trade pretty winning for him too. Leona, another great E buffer there. Gets hit by the tornado and sends the E out like right before they get hit. That way the E hasn't connected until after the tornado lands. Able to use that buffer to get onto the Janna, even though she is a great anti-engage. They had what looked to be a great 2v2 fight going on, but Miascarada's on the way, able to teleport behind and change the outcome. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Hernandez teaches, knows that Xayah just used her ult, so comes in flying with his ult, cleans up the free kill. A little bit more wave clear coming out mid. Blue team is able to secure the grubbies. PMM. Jax especially. Happy to get grubs. Very good side laner. Looks like Jax is going to be going the Dusk and Dawn build. Oh, Zach comes flying in. Acel isn't the only one that can fly. Lands right on top of the Acel. Cancels the Acel fly away with either Q pullback or R. Not entirely sure, but either way, Acel is not allowed to move and just goes down. In the bot lane, Xayah able to 1v1 the Varus. Kind of hitting Varus with a little bit of a wallet slap. Has full Essence Reaver compared to Varus, not quite full Ghost Blade. Jax gets flipped under turret, gets Good dropped at his feet. Oh, here's the Ghost, here's the Singed ultimate. Is that enough? Not quite. Gets the wave, does flash, gets past the Jax, gets the solo kill. Singed showing off that absolute champion mastery, hitting all of the skill shots on Singed. Very well done, very impressive, good quapping. Nocturne ult comes out. They get onto the Hui. Fear lands on Hui. Acel gets the kill. Acel trying to hold off Benny Bay with just Q. Says, hey, back up. Don't want to fight this. I just want to breathe fire. Don't need you right in my vicinity here. Oh, there it is again, but this time he gets the root with the Singed flip. The bot side of the map looks like Varus ult landed onto the Xayah. Did force out the Xayah ult, but they were able to get a decent amount of damage done before that. Jax goes down again to the Singed. Nocturne tries to make something happen on Hui, who fears him away. It was a big fight. Big Acel ult. Singed is pushed away by the Janna. They are chasing into Anda's teaches, but he's not the one on Singed, so you are actually allowed to chase him. Meanwhile, Singed goes down to the Jax. Xayah gets the Acel. Varus is able to get one back here on the Zac. Jax Not getting much else done there. Just kind of fossilizing for fun. Singe running around the backside, causing a bunch of mayhem. No one goes down. There's Zaya with her ult. Unfortunately, cannot outrun the Singe. Still goes down. TP into the bot lane from the Singe. Comes out on Mach 10, flips away. Fight's still going. Miranda's teacher's trying to pick up Hui, but Hui able to get away. Not gonna lie, I feel like there was a lot of action there, and for there to not be too many kills that happened that last fight, unless I'm crazy and just... I mean, honestly, it is pretty late, so maybe I forgot him. No, it's just a couple of kills that happened. Dragon's still up, still second drag. Alright, looks like Team CR is gonna try to get the last little bit of vision off of Dragon. Try to burst it down here. Team PMM definitely knew, but they were unable to stop that. Alright. 2 drags on the side of CR. Baron did spawn. Neither team, I don't think either team's strong enough to really just hit it on spawn. Ha 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 ha. Jax gets flipped, unable to kill the Nocturne. Zac, however, does get there in time to kill the Nocturne. Zac thinks he gets away. Unfortunately for him, there's a Leona in the area, and she lands her ult. I thought Acel was spitting on the turret. He kind of is. Okay, Soul TPing down towards bot. Drag's not up for another 230. Fight looks like it might be breaking out here. Nito goes wide. Nocturne turns off the lights, goes after the Hui. I'm gonna go back to start of that fight. Kind of see what happened there. Dragon spawned. Looks like Amanda's teachers just try to collapse onto the Jax. Good follow up by Asol. Good E right on Sax, right on Jax's feet. Alright. Our team able to get a second drag. Looks like Team CR is starting to set up vision towards topside, vision towards the Baron. Makes sense. Dragon's not up for 4 minutes. Little bit of vision. Fly on out of there. Classic Acel. I'm not gonna lie, I blinked. Boy, he's dead. I'm rewinding. I gotta stop blinking so much. A couple things are happening there. Oh, Hui gets Nocturnalted. Zhonya's doesn't stop the fear. Meanwhile, what's happening over here? Leona goes in a little too far. Gets collapsed on by Zach. Gonna be honest, Nunya, I have no idea, and I'm too tired to think one way or another. Good flank by the Jax. Nocturnal coming in. Uses his Jax as an escape. Singed here. Singed gets a flip. Singed runs around a little bit. Pop, 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 pop. Look at him run. I didn't see the re-engage. Sorry, guys. Tread goes in and just immediately goes down. Oh, I did see that part. Yeah, Singe is just going quapping around. Switch back up to where we were. Tread goes in. Immediately gets burst. And now we have a chance for a Baron play. They're all a little bit low. Might just see a couple of deaths here on Baron. Baron set up here. Blue team going for it. Y'all, chat, not gonna lie, as soon as this game is done, I'm gonna fall asleep in like 2 minutes flat. And that might be overestimating it. Big engage onto the Acel. Acel has just enough mana to get the alt kite back. Does get flash slowed by Janna, who then follows it up with Tornado, and then gets the insect with Janna. Lights are off. Nocturne is in on Hui. Gets feared away though. Chad accidentally has two minions or something instead of a champion on the queue. Looks like Team PMM does have Baron. They're looking for a strong push on this timer here with the Baron buff. Collapse onto Jax. Oh, flip. Way and Zai able to just completely take down the Varus at the start of this fight. They still have Baron buff. No, they don't have Baron buff anymore. So they took down Varus. Unfortunately, it's hard to push into the Acel. Managed to take down Smep as well. Force the Leona ult. Acel does have big ults. There's Acel, big ult. Xayah able to dodge it. Xayah flashes forward for the E. Xayah gets the triple kill. Wow. Alright, well. That appears to be the end of the game. Also the end of me. I will be going to bed here right after this game ends, and honestly, yeah. Oh, well played by PMM. Way to pull it out. Very well done again by their AD carry. And Ched had a lot of good engages, a lot of good fights that he was there for. Had a lot of bursts that I didn't expect. Yeah, I'm gonna crash. I guess I'll show this real quick. Back and forth for a while. That sounds about right. Blue side started taking a lead. Peace out.